Good day, YouTubers. Time for a spot of royalty. Apparently, Thomas Markle never intended to share Meghan's horrible letter that he sent to her. This is a picture of them at a ball game. I guess he bought all these clothes that day. He just kept buying clothes because it was cold, and he's from Southern California, and now he lives in Rosarito, Mexico. So he's very generous. He flew up there. He spent hundreds of dollars on clothes just so he could, see a ball game with his daughter and spend some time with her. He might have dumped $1,000 just that day just to see a ball game with his daughter. And she cuts him off and won't give him the time of day. Okay, let's read a little bit. Why I shared Meghan's hurtful letter. Duchess Father Thomas Markle reveals he kept the note secret for 6 months and never intended to share it until her friends spoke to a U.S. magazine about it and misrepresented its contents. Okay, so some observations. All of this is going to churn up this negative circus again. Thomas Markle, Samantha Markle, the hidden daughter, the Dooleys. Thomas Dooley was just arrested for, screaming and running around. It was felony resisting arrest. They're making enemies of the media, and they can't live without the media. Meghan and Harry can't. Thomas, who's never seen his grandson, can be called to testify. So Thomas is, he's being tormented, and that's not enough. He hasn't been able to see his grandson, and now they're going to drag him through court. They're making comparisons to Diana. They keep comparing Meghan to Diana. Piers Morgan says Meghan's not in the same league as Diana, and this is going to make the public look and say, well, gosh, is Meghan anything like Diana? And they're going to say no. They're saying he released parts of the letter, that the media released parts of the letter, and they're taking them out of context. He admits to releasing only parts. He, Thomas Markle, not the media, released only parts of the letter because other parts were so terrible that he didn't want to release them. This lawsuit goes all the way back to the papers hacking Diana's phone, all the way back to Diana. Okay, Harry was 12 years old when Diana died. That's a long time ago. He's 35 now. It was already settled way back then for $1 billion, and businesses closed and people went to jail. Additionally, I hear there's a very blue video out, a sex video for Meghan coming out, and I think that's what they're trying to hide by going on the attack. I'm going to read again. Mr. Markle felt he was forced to release some of the details of the letter when her friends misrepresented the contents to an American magazine. Thomas Markle received the handwritten 5-page missive via FedEx from Meghan's Los Angeles business manager, Andrew Meyer. Deeply hurt, he vowed to keep it private. Okay, so in terms of the legal lawsuit, in England, the sender, Meghan, that's her property, and she can claim that it's been violated. But the letter was sent via a U.S. person to another U.S. person. Okay, the U.S. person who sent it is her Los Angeles business manager via FedEx. So L.A. to Mr. Markle, he's in Mexico, but they're both U.S. persons. And Meghan Markle is a U.S. citizen, not a British citizen. So that's a legal point that is going to come up. It would have remained a secret had its existence not been revealed by an unnamed longtime friend of Meghan's in a glowing article in America's People magazine. Okay, she told her friends, her 5 anonymous friends, that they could talk about this. Meghan violated her own privacy. That's another thing that's going to come up. All right, there's just a lot of issues here. Let's take a look. I got to turn my launch. All right, let's let's get into it. What was Thomas's motivation for revealing the letter? There's 5 anonymous friends. Was it fame? Was it defending himself, as he says? Was it reconnection with his family? She's horrible to him. She's so horrible. Not only is he not able to see his grandson, she just keeps attacking him in the press. He has to defend himself. At the time, I don't know if you remember it, I remember it, when the 5 anonymous friends were up, it was just a murder show. They were just murdering him in the press. And it was awful. You would think that he's like a mass murderer or something at that time. And the press has really changed. So what was his motivation? All right, let's see. What was his motivation? Cross, permanent family, yes. Key events, snake, difficulties. So she's his family, and she keeps attacking him, and it's just getting worse, and she's ruining his reputation. So attacks on his reputation, just laying there. And so he went very public. The player's very public. It's a one-off. He released the letter. Cornucopia, mustard seed, coffin. Put a stop to all of it. A letter to put a stop to all of it. 5 and 8, 13, 4 hearts. A letter to put a stop to all of this conflict, all of these secrets in the family. So she was ruining his reputation unjustly. And pretending to be the victim. She's the victim, she's the victim, she's the victim. And she's always pretending to be the victim. So literally she's killing this guy, and he's done nothing. He's done nothing wrong. He paid for her college, he raised her. I mean, he really sacrificed for her, and then he ended up going bankrupt, and she just dumps him. Was this a provocation strategy? The 5 anonymous friends. Okay, and these 5 anonymous friends are going to be revealed in the lawsuit, okay, because they're part of it. And then people are going to say, well, who are these 5 people? Oh, well, that's this person, that's this person, that's this person. It's going to be the crying hairdresser probably. They're going to be nobodies. That's why they're anonymous. And people are going to examine the relationship. Well, what was Meghan's relationship with this person? Oh, they're just a hairdresser. Oh, what's the relationship with this person? Oh, they're just, they're a set designer. She doesn't barely know these people, and they all were representing themselves as like besties of Meghan. Everybody's a bestie. So, okay, was this a provocation strategy? Meghan was trying to provoke her father to respond and release this letter. Was this a provocation strategy? False victim narrative, provoking him so that he'll talk, so that she can get the story out there. All right. Man, Mother Earth, Jacob's Ladder. Okay, a process, a continuing situation. Mother Earth is, man and mother. So this is Thomas. Thomas is the man. This is man in the family and going forward. 25, 30, 8 diamonds, everything. And money. And Mercury it's electronic communications and can be deceptive talking. So was this a provocation strategy? She just keeps going after him. She keeps going after him in everything. Interestingly, this is not showing as provocation. It's not deceptive. It's not aggressive. This is just how she is. She goes for total victory. She's a total victory person. If she's going to win, you're going to lose. Both of you can't win. She's going to take it. She's going to take it all. And that's what I see here. She's just going to take it all and she's going to leave him nothing. Will Thomas be called to testify? Okay, that would be the ultimate insult. This poor man has not seen his grandson, baby Archie. Now, I believe they still don't have baby Archie. I believe that the Archie that they showed in Africa is a stand-in. He's a rent-a-baby. And they're not showing any Archie. They're not showing Archie in the UK, which is a terrible cardinal sin. I mean, you showed an Archie in South Africa. You better walk around with a real live gurgling Archie in the UK, because that's just really insulting. So will Thomas be called to testify, because that's just going to add, she's going to drag him up into a court battle over all of this, and he's still never seen Archie. So is he going to be dragged over to testify? Oh my, oh dear. All right, roadblock, roses, Trinity, earthquake, and cup overflowing. So this would be a disaster. He would be very upset about it. He could have a heart attack. 10 cups and 10 spades could be a heart attack. Blocked. It looks like he won't be forced to come because of his age. He's 75. He has heart issues. 6 and 5, 3 clubs. Activity, sweet, and working everything together to block it. It looks like she doesn't want him to testify because that just really drags everything up. And I think he's too ill. But if they do drag him up there to testify, he'll probably have another heart attack. Okay, she's just torturing him to death, and it's awful. Let's just ask the big question. Will all of this backfire on Meghan and Harry, creating a huge circus of negative media attention? Okay, she's dragging all of this stuff back up again. Everything with her family. All she has to do is meet with her father. She can fly herself and Harry out to Rosarito, Mexico, show up on his doorstep and take some pics with Archie. Okay, then she didn't have him into the palace. They can spend a day on the beach or whatever because, there's beaches there. Or she could fly him into the palace, which is a much bigger deal. And then Samantha will say, well, how come I didn't go to the palace? So there's many ways they can do it. She can call him on the phone. They can Skype, all kinds of stuff. So is this going to backfire, creating a huge circus of negative media attention on Meghan and Harry? Okay, no can be no or a full stop. 10 clubs. There's the devil. There's the executioner. Did we get it all? Let's make sure we got it all. All right. Is all of this going to backfire and create a huge media circus? Hamster Wheel is a long way. Overseas travel and a long way. And it's upside down. It's upside down. Going backwards. Going backwards. The hamster wheel is upside down. I don't shuffle my cards so that they'll appear upside down. So that's very unusual. So I'll read it upside down. So this is just... Hamster Wheel is a very long journey. Reversed, upside down, it's like spinning in place, just going nowhere for a long time. The fox, very clever, 22 plus 9, 31, 8 clubs, cleverly just stopped and going nowhere. We have a full stop and going nowhere. The public is really going to be stuck on this for a long time. They've opened Pandora's box of pain. And all of this scandal that is unresolved, all she has to do is resolve the scandal. Meet with your father. Show him an Archie. You showed the South African people, a rent-a-Archie, a rent-a-baby. Get the same rent-a-baby and show that rent-a-baby to your father. Okay, you already showed a rent-a-baby. So there's no harm in that. So the public, the public is just going to be focused on this. There's going to be no good press for Meghan and Harry because they're going to be focused on these lawsuits and all the drama associated with these lawsuits. And that's what has to happen. That's how media works. They focus on what's happening right now. And if they didn't throw these lawsuits out against everyone's advice at the end of the Africa trip, what was happening was all the good press from Africa will roll out. They were going to do piece after piece after piece of good press for Meghan and Harry, and they were enjoying a lot of good press, and they're screaming about bad press. She's completely insane, okay? And I'm sorry to be so negative. I try to be more objective, but she's insane. She ruined all the good press. What is going on? What's going on in the shadow? Connection, joining, devil, water into wine, and executioner. So we have executioner and water into wine. So in the hidden situation, this very decisive act renews everything, and they've created a trap for themselves by doing this. By doing these lawsuits. 24 and 10, 34, 8 spades, 9 diamonds. Yeah. By filing these lawsuits, they have just created a trap. They've created an endless trap. And so now they're going to be stuck in a loop of constant negative press that they've created. And they've really upset the press. They live and die by the press. Their whole thing is the press. The Queen is going to have to separate herself from these actions. Is the Queen and the Crown going to disavow Meghan and Harry's lawsuit? Because they have to. They literally have to. Is the Queen and the Crown going to disavow Meghan and Harry's lawsuit? Star of Bethlehem, cutting, reacting, because I do see, in my last reading, I saw the Queen taking strong action as a result of this. She was completely blindsided. They didn't tell her, they didn't consult her, they didn't ask her, and she's going to take strong action. Interestingly, I didn't see a lot of emotion showing for the Queen, but I do see strong action. So are they going to completely disavow Meghan and Harry's actions, all these ridiculous lawsuits that go all the way back to Diana? Okay, cutting. They're going to cut, their reaction is going to be cutting, disavow. 12, 13. Cutting them off from the family. Oh my goodness. They're again going to separate Meghan and Harry's actions from the royal family, cutting them from the family. Their reaction is going forward is to cut them from the family. What's in the hidden situation? Veil and high tower. 16, 4 spades. Secret negotiations, official secret negotiations. They're talking about it right now. So the Queen and the Crown are going to separate themselves from these actions. These are unsanctioned actions by Meghan and Harry. And maybe it's time to just completely cut them loose, because it looks more and more and more like that, because Meghan doesn't do the things, she very intentionally doesn't do the things that honor the Crown and that she is expected to be doing. Okay, one example is never wearing stockings. I'm just disgusted. I'm throwing up in my mouth a little bit. I mean, for goodness sake, you're a married woman, you have a child, cut it out. I just can't stand it. That's such a small thing. It's like so small, but it really bothers me. It really, really bothers me that she won't wear stockings. That really bothers me. And I don't care if it scratches your skin. I don't care. Then wear a long dress. I don't care. Okay. I wonder if I'll get crap for that. Okay. Thomas's motivations. What were his motivations? Were they fame, defending himself? Were they reconnection? Because he released the letter after Meghan sent her 5 anonymous friends to People magazine. Why are they anonymous? Because she doesn't want anybody to be able to question the relationships, what they're saying, the factual basis of it. It's a purely emotional response. It's a purely emotional argument, just like saying crying sexism or bullying, which is what she's currently doing. They're crying bullying. Okay, so why did Thomas do it? Why did he do it? Key events in the family, very difficult. She was just destroying his relationship. She was literally like murdering him in the press. And it is about public image. He's from Hollywood. He does understand about public image. And he was behind the scenes, but he sees all these actors in front of the camera and what happens to them. And they just rise or fall based on public perception. And he knows how powerful that is. So he was just trying to fix it up a little bit. This can be money. Letter and secrets about everything or money. 9 and 13. Family. He can be motivated a little bit by money because he's been bankrupt. He really gave everything to Meghan. He paid for all of her schooling. So he can be, his heart is maybe not as pure as it could be, but here right in the center is permanent family. It is about family for him. It's about family, bad reputation, setting it right in the public sphere. But there is this is the money card. Cornucopia is the card of money. So it can be a little bit about money. He's a mixed bag. But it is right in the center is family. The key is family. That's what that says. All right. Was she working a provoking strategy? Meghan is a locust. She's going to take everything. She's going to leave him nothing. She just step by step goes after people that she has no use for or doesn't want them around, and she just never stops until they're completely destroyed, which is very disturbing. Why not just leave him alone? He's your dad, for goodness sake. Is Thomas going to be dragged to testify? He hasn't seen Archie or even stand-in Archie or even rent-a-baby Archie. He hasn't seen anything. Not even Skyped. Okay. Is he going to be dragged to do this? I think he will not be dragged because he'll have a heart attack. So if they subpoena him to show up, he's going to have another medical event because he's under too much stress. He's 75 years old. And I think he's not going to have to do it, but I definitely see like medical issues and heart issues. This is like 10 spades, 10 hearts is like a heart attack. So she's literally killing him. Okay, is all of this going to backfire into a media circus? They're just running in place. They're completely stuck and running in place. Their clever strategy, it goes nowhere. It just goes nowhere. The public is going to be stuck on negative press for Meghan and Harry for the near future, for forever. They're just stuck there. This is exactly the opposite of what they say they're trying to do. Okay, and it renews all the negative stuff, and it gives it gives the public a bad view of Meghan and Harry again. I hope they don't stay together for 4 years. I hope my sticks were drinking when they said 4 years, because Harry needs to get out or he's going to be destroyed. Will the Queen and the Crown separate themselves? Because this is all unsanctioned. They didn't inform anybody. They put it on Sussex official. They created a new account. They didn't send out the lawsuits through the royal.uk. It's all separate. They did it separately and they didn't tell anybody. They didn't put the H&M watermark on the top. It's all showing as separate. Is the Crown going to separate themselves? Yeah, going forward, they're going to react by separating themselves the royal family, 4 hearts. They're going to react by separating themselves, and they're talking about it right now. They're trying to figure out what to do, and they're going to decide to separate themselves to, they keep doing this with Meghan and Harry because they're rogue. That's your royalty today. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon in Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.